A cafe owner plays a commercial recording to brighten the room. To the customers, that song is a single, unified experience, one complete piece of art. But from a legal perspective, that single track is actually a dense stack of invisible rights running simultaneously. Musicians and actors often conflate the written work, the composition or the script, with their physical performance of it. They treat two distinct legal entities as one. When these elements are lumped together, the legal framework breaks down. Contracts fail to cover every use, tax qualifications become impossible to justify, and artists lose protection against distortion. Handling these risks requires a specific habit, learning to conceptually untangle these layers of rights before ever stepping on a stage or into a studio. This diagram shows a song's legal architecture. The first pathway is copyright, belonging to the authors, the composer and lyricist. It lasts 70 years after their death. The second pathway, related rights, belongs to performers and producers, generally ending 50 years after the performance. An artist can hold both titles at once. A singer-songwriter who records her own material acts as the author of the work and the performer of the recording simultaneously. Because these rights have different legal bases and lifespans, the revenues must be qualified and billed separately to ensure the artist remains protected under both categories. Performers also hold a non-financial defense, the inalienable moral right. This moral right allows the performer to be identified by name and to object to any distortion of their performance that might damage their reputation. This protection is personal. Any contract clause that attempts a blanket waiver of this future moral right is legally null and void, even if the artist has sold their economic rights. Back at that cafe broadcast, the law uses a mechanism called equitable remuneration. Playing a commercial record in public generates two distinct financial flows. Copyright royalties go to authors. The equitable remuneration is shared between performers and producers, administered by collective management organizations. Understanding monetization in music means viewing a single public broadcast as a dual-track ecosystem that requires separate accounting. On the live stage, these legal distinctions are applied through the performance contract. To protect artists from being tied to a single production indefinitely, the law caps exclusive assignments for live performances at 3 years. There is also a use it or lose it rule. If performances are interrupted for 2 consecutive years, the contract terminates automatically, and the rights return to the artist. This meticulous separation also influences the Belgian tax regime. Both copyright and related rights are eligible for a reduced tax rate on rights income. Accessing the flat rate expense allowance in 2026 requires an arts work attestation. Artists must be able to show a clear documented split between their standard performance fees and their rights income. While an audience experiences a cohesive show, the legal reality is a multi-layered structure. Separating these rights at the source, setting time limits on the stage, and guarding the moral right to a performance ensures that the work is accurately valued. This video provides general legal information and does not constitute formal legal advice. For specific cases, consult a legal professional.